Ladies and gentlemen, I live in Istanbul, which, as you probably know, is a huge metropolis and in fact one of the biggest cities in the world. As such, it's not a city that's particularly well known for its green spaces, and indeed it is a very stressful place to live. However, I count myself very lucky because I happen to have a garden of my own where I can plant flowers and even vegetables, which I then enjoy eating. Now, I find that after spending half an hour or an hour or so in the garden, I feel much happier and much more relaxed. So anytime I'm feeling a bit down, I've got a bit of the blues, what I do is I go out and I spend some time digging up some weeds or planting some flowers, and this makes me feel much better. So I decided I wanted to know whether this is a common phenomenon, whether this is something that everybody feels, or whether it was something particular to me. So I went online and did a bit of research, and I found out that there are indeed many proven benefits of gardening, so it's not just in my imagination. So today what I want to talk to you about briefly are some of the mental health benefits of gardening and also some of the benefits of gardening to your physical health. So let's start with the mental side of things. Let's start with how gardening can make you healthier in your mind. Many studies have shown that gardening does in fact reduce stress. So for someone like me living in a stressful city, gardening is the ideal pastime. Focusing on a physical task helps to take our mind off our small everyday worries and therefore makes us feel more relaxed. If this all sounds a bit vague to you, let me say that a Dutch study carried out a few years ago has actually proven that gardening is in fact more relaxing, more stress relieving than reading. And let me just tell you a bit about the study. The researchers took two groups of people and they asked them all to carry out a stressful task. So this raised their heart rate and raised also their levels of cortisol, or the stress hormone, in their bodies. After carrying out this stressful task, one group was asked to go into the garden for half an hour and carry out some gardening. The other group was asked to stay inside and read a book. After this relaxing exercise, it was found that both groups' stress levels had decreased, but the group who had been gardening for half an hour showed significantly lower levels of cortisol in their body. So they were measurably less stressed than the group who had spent time reading. So therefore, if you're stressed, go out into the garden. Now, as well as stress relief, gardening can be good for mental health disorders such as depression. And the reason behind this is that gardening gives you a sense of satisfaction because you can eat the vegetables that you've grown, or you can watch a seed that you've planted grow into a beautiful flower. And this gives you the sense that the time that you have spent in the garden is worthwhile. It creates a sense of purpose and a sense of achievement. Put this together with the physical effort of working in the garden, and we see significant improvements in many mental health disorders, such as depression, as I mentioned. Now, as I said, I would talk about the mental health benefits and the physical health benefits, and since I've just mentioned the physical effort of gardening, let's move on to how gardening helps our physical health. Now, doctors say that we should carry out about 2.5 hours of moderate exercise every week. However, if you are like me and you hate the gym and you can't think of anything worse than going out for a run, it can be hard to carry out this much exercise in your weekly routine. However, if you take up gardening, as I mentioned earlier, it's a very rewarding exercise, and it's also motivating in itself because there are specific tasks you have to do if you want your garden to thrive. So therefore, once you've started, you are more motivated to go out and do that activity if you want your garden to survive. So it's easier to motivate yourself to go out and do half an hour of gardening than it is to go out for a run. And even on those days when you're feeling a little bit lazy, you still have to do it. Now, of course, gardening is not a very high cardio workout. However, actions that you carry out while doing the gardening, such as pushing a lawnmower or digging the soil, bending down to weed the garden or to plant seeds, stretching up to prune the branches of a tree or to tie up vines, work all of the muscle groups in the body, and therefore gardening is a very good general workout. And research finds that gardening has the same positive benefits as other sporting activities, such as jogging or swimming. Now, the health benefits don't just lie in the exercise that you carry out. Mostly when we are gardening, we are outside in the open air and, of course, a lot of the time in the sunshine. And this means that we're absorbing more vitamin D than we would usually be. Now, a lack of vitamin D puts you at a greater risk of heart disease, of certain types of cancer, and of bone conditions such as osteoporosis. So therefore, gardening helps you avoid these risks or cuts your risk of developing these disorders. Now, before I end, I want to speak of one other unexpected source of health improvement that comes from gardening, and that is hidden in the dirt in your garden. Because in fact, the soil of your garden contains a friendly bacteria. Now, this bacteria has a very unpronounceable name, but this bacteria actually boosts our immune system, and so it therefore helps to alleviate symptoms of certain skin complaints, such as psoriasis. It also helps to reduce allergies and asthma. So if you're looking for a way to lead a healthier lifestyle and a less stressful lifestyle, I suggest you go out and get your hands dirty. Thank you.